Each one of us breathes in the equivalent of 14 kilos of air every day, but we only drink 2 kilos of water and eat 1.5 kilos of food. With every lungful, we inhale vital oxygen, but also small amounts of potentially harmful elements. The International Agency for Research on Cancer says that outdoor air pollution can be carcinogenic. And like the clouds moving through the sky, pollution is transported from one place to another by winds. And every day here in Reading in the UK at the European Weather Centre, scientists forecast not only the weather, but also the movement of air pollution both across Europe and worldwide. 2 technical support staff are on site 24 hours a day to ensure that data is correctly handled. This is all done within the framework of the European project MACC-II, monitoring atmospheric composition and climate.
Every day we receive millions of observations here in this room. Observations from satellites flying about 800 kilometers above the Earth, looking at the atmosphere. We also receive observations from the surface, like measurement stations all over the world, ships, airplanes, etc.
The most common pollutants are constantly monitored: carbon monoxide, ozone, nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide.
How do we get a forecast from this data? The data are elaborated on the supercomputers using sophisticated algorithms that mimic the law of physics. The forecast for yesterday is then compared with the observations of today to produce the forecast for tomorrow.
All the data is then stored in this massive computer. To give an idea of scale, if all this data were printed, there would be enough books to reach the moon 10 times over. So who uses this data?
You can think of citizens who are sensitive to high levels of pollution, like people with asthma, who need to know what the conditions will be for the next few days. There are authorities in cities or regions that need to change, for instance, traffic control based on air quality measurements, but can use our forecast to anticipate the situation. There are authorities in regions or countries who want to be aware of the transboundary transport of pollutants, so they can adjust their measures based on that information.
The State Agency for Nature and Environment North Rhine-Westphalia in Essen, Germany, uses pollution forecasts produced by MACC-II. They then add local information. Here in Duisburg, monitoring and forecasting air pollution is vital. This area produces 1/3 of Germany's electricity using coal and is the world's 2nd largest steel production site. In the middle of this heavily industrial area, this air monitoring station measures pollution particles and nitrogen dioxide, giving an essential picture of the quality of the air, so that people know what the situation is today, as well as what they can expect to be coming their way tomorrow. MACC-II. Researching, monitoring, analysing and storing data, forecasting air pollution and informing people. All that so that little girls like this one can breathe freely.